Liam Payne just opened up about one of the main things that set him apart from the rest of his One Direction bandmates that he wishes he could go back in time and change. Let's get into it. As is the case with any boy band, each member usually comes to be known for one major personality trait, such as the funny one or the sensitive one. But when it comes to Liam, well, it turns out he actually became the man-child of the band. Hey, those are his words, not ours. A recent interview with Glamour magazine had Liam reminiscing about his time in the iconic boy band, and when asked what advice he'd give his former 2010 self if he had the chance to do so, the pop star had something very specific in mind. He said, quote, "I think just have more fun and relax a little bit. I think I was a very serious child, one of those man-childs. I was a man in a child's body pretty early on, and I think I would have avoided that stage, to be honest with you. To enter One Direction was that difficult because it just meant that I got completely a different job to everybody else." That's right, looking back, Liam wishes he could have allowed himself to let loose and have a little more fun when he was in the band with the rest of the guys. When asked if he'd consider himself the grown-up one of One Direction, Liam added, "That was it, and it was boring. I should have just larked around and thrown plates out the window and stuff. Well, I mean at the start, and then later on a bit less rock and roll." That comment about hurling plates is a direct reference to a story he shared last year during an appearance on the radio show Capitol Breakfast, where he revealed that Zayn and Louis would throw plates out of the windows and mattresses down the stairs during their hotel stays back in the days. Yikes, I'd hate to see that hotel bill. Liam also explained in the past that prior to his life-changing experience in 1D, he never really had any loud friends, so it definitely took him some adjusting to his former bandmates' antics. But let's keep in mind that Liam was only 16 when he joined the band, so it only makes sense that now looking back as a grown man with a 4-year-old son, he would have liked to be a bit more carefree during that period of his life. Well, unfortunately, it's a little too late for him to change that now, but Liam can always live vicariously through a rowdy character in a movie. I know, but hear me out first. The singer just made a surprise appearance at this year's British Academy Film Awards over the weekend, which had many of his fans scratching their heads for a number of reasons. First, for those who hadn't seen Liam in a while, it came as a bit of a shock to see him rock his lockdown long hair on stage. But what really ended up stealing the show was a hologram of Liam with which the real Liam performed his hit Midnight. By the way, some of you guys had a little too much fun on social media with hologram Liam. But anyway, going back to the Glamour magazine interview, Liam was asked if his performance at the BAFTAs was a sign that he's getting into acting, and to everyone's pleasant surprise, he was actually very open to it. He said, "I've done a lot of auditions, a lot of tapes. The thing about acting, somebody told me, it's very much like, are you right for the part, and is the part right for you? I think it takes a lot of talent, luck, and judgment going into acting to actually get into a job." But before we get our hopes up about seeing him on the big screen anytime soon, Liam admitted that unfortunately he hasn't had much luck with something he's all too familiar with, the audition process. He went on to add, "I seem to get through to like the final 5 or final 3 people for every role and then not quite get it, which is frustrating, but you know, that's how it goes. I've had a few auditions and I was lucky enough to get into the final 5 again for one audition that I got to meet Steven Spielberg a couple years ago on my 25th birthday, which was quite amazing, but it's been fairly slow through the pandemic, obviously. But we can only hope that sooner than later he'll come across the perfect role that suits his talents, but hopefully he won't leave behind his music career if all goes well with his new acting gig." But to find out which famous song by a popular rock star was turned down by the boys of 1D, click right over here for another clever video, and then let us know which kind of acting role you'd like to see Liam play down in the comment section below. I'm your host, Emil Ennis Jr. You can find me on Instagram at Emil Ennis Jr., and I'll see you soon. Bye, y'all.